Shiva is alien. Shiva is alien. He couldn't even have biological children with any of the women he was married to. Okay, now we'll move to your favorite topic.
I didn't know you figured out all those things.
Okay, now we move to Shiva.
Oh.
So Shiva is what I got from reading about it and doing my practices and spending time with you. Shiva is not somebody looking, like sitting up there and looking at all of us. Shiva is a dimension. It is what they say in science, a black hole where nothingness seems to be the origin of universe, where everything seems to be coming out of nothingness and being swallowed into nothingness. That very nothingness is Shiva. So anybody who accesses that dimension, if you access that, you become Shiva. If I tap into that, I can become Shiva. But okay, tell me that so Adi Yogi, the very first yogi, was somebody who has access to that dimension. So why is it that you are obsessed with Adi Yogi? Isn't it like making it about the container and not the contained? Sadguru, isn't it like that? Like you only talk about Adi Yogi. It's like Adi Yogi is the container.
Till now I have not said a word about him. You brought...
No, but you've made the sculpture of Adi Yogi and you...
Yeah, it's only 1.5 years old. But you're not checking what I was doing these 36 years. Let's come to that. That's fine. See, about Adi Yogi is not an obsession, or the Adi Yogi is a plan. I should not. Mumbai is
not... No, reveal it.
Mumbai is not the best place to reveal it, but now that you are...
So judgmental.
Let's go. That's her next movie, she's promoting it. Everybody must watch this Mental and Manikarnika, everything, okay? I'm promoting it. So, you talked about nothing. We must understand this nothing. English language has certain limitations on these aspects, but we can, because we are speaking that language, we can manipulate it a little bit. If you want to understand nothing, you must put a hyphen between no and thing. It's not a thing. That doesn't mean it does not exist. This would have been a ridiculous statement for the Western minds. I'm saying Western minds because all of us are Western educated. Maybe we're living in India, we've born in India, grown up in India, but we're all Western educated. For a Western mind, this would be a ridiculous idea. A couple of decades or maybe 3 decades ago, it would have been so. But now, science is talking about no things. That means non-physical dimension of existence. Something that is not a thing, but still a powerful force. When I say something that's not a thing, we are not talking about nuclear energy, we are not talking about, electrical energy or magnetism or anything. Simply nothingness is tremendously powerful. Today they're calling it, black existence or dark existence or dark power, or many things are being used. So essentially you're talking about a dimension which is the source of something. Now this is something, everything here is something. But this has come from all that we call as nothing, because it's not a physical form. A physical form, in essence, means a certain defined boundary. You call this a physical body because this is a defined boundary. If there is no defined boundary, this cannot be physical. So when we said yoga, this union that inclusiveness you're poking at me, is essentially that you transcended your physical nature, so you are not a something anymore. Once you are not a something, there is no defined boundary for you. Once there is no defined boundary for you, union is the only way you can exist. There is no other way to exist. This is not just a concept. This is a living experience. This is the reality of the cosmos. That If you look up in the sky, even a little child looks up in the sky, you will count stars. Maybe there are millions and billions of stars out there, but still, all the stars put together, they do not occupy even 1% of the space out there, isn't it? But nobody pays attention to that space. That is nothing. So this 99% or more, 99.9% is vast nothingness in this few specks of something. But your attention is only there simply because your visual apparatus are made like that. You are not able to grasp what is not there. You only see whatever stops light, in the sense you are able to see this hand simply because it's stopping light and reflecting. So your ability to see is always limited to whatever stops light. See, right now we are sitting here, our microphone, our light, everything is important, but the most important thing is the air that we are breathing for our existence right now. But we cannot see it. Does it mean to say we can do without it? So that which you cannot see, that which you cannot touch, that which you cannot perceive through five sense organs, that is called a no-thing or a nothing. That's called Shiva. Shiva means that which is not. Now, if somebody begins to experience that as a living experience, we refer to him also as Shiva. But somebody who has not experienced it, we refer to him also. Half the people in this country at one time were named after Shiva. That is all the men, I'm saying. Ladies were Shiva, Shivangi, Shiva this, Shiva that, or Parvati, Gauri, this one, that one. Why this was so is constant reminder that you need to look beyond what is there in front of you. This physical form of being a man or a woman, or this person I like, this person I don't like, beyond this, when I call him Shiva, now I cannot say I like him or dislike him. When your name is Shiva, you claimed already you're Shiva. When your name is Shiva, when I call you Shiva, I cannot call Shiva angrily. I cannot do something. It's a kind of a control over yourself, that you cannot abuse somebody. You cannot say, hey Shiva, you're this and that. You can only say Shiva. So we created a culture like this where constant reminder, wherever you look. We even called our dog Shiva. Yes, we never thought it's an insult because he's as much alive as you are. We called, if you see a tree we say Shiva, if you see a rock we say Shiva, if you see a bird we say Shiva, simply because the source of all that exists here as physical stuff essentially comes from that which is not a thing, or no thing, or Shiva. So this is why this talk about third eye and people think their forehead is going to crack and something is going to pop out. Nothing like that. These two eyes can show you only that which stops light. The day you start seeing things which do not stop light, then we say you have one more eye going. You have an inner eye which is able to see something that these two eyes cannot see. So third eye does not mean forehead cracking up and you becoming some kind of a freako. This just that means your clarity has opened up, that you are able to see beyond the limitations of senses.
So all the enlightened people who've been…
How many did you meet?
Like I've heard about many. Like, say Krishna or Muhammad or Ram or Christ, Buddha, all the enlightened people who've been on this planet, there is some sort of mention of their birth or death. But when it comes to Shiva, like you say, and I've read that he was self-created, and I often ask you this question, that did he disappear into thin air, and apparently something like that happened. He couldn't even have biological children with any of the women he was married to. Also, he…
At least you can't blame him for the population.
Sadguru, I'm coming to something very important. There is a theory…
I thought population was very important.
No. There is a theory that Shiva is alien.
Till now you've been talking about inclusiveness and suddenly you call somebody an alien.
No, Sadguru, there is a theory…
I must tell you this. Every time I enter United States, at the immigration, I end up standing in that line which says resident alien. I look around and see I'm the only one who fits the description.